Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome.
That was good.
Oh, was it?
That was
I
so
thought you were going to give me
cheerful.
another pump. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to hit me.
No, I'm feeling good.
Hey,
that
okay.
was great.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Real Estate and Other Stuff on KHTS 1220 AM and 98.1 FM and on Facebook Live. I'm your friend, the real estate business, Phil Nardella. Taylor Williams Moniz is here, which is awesome, and she's your favorite real estate attorney, among other things.
Thanks.
She's a full partner at Donahoe, Young & Williams. I'm just going to plow through this.
All right.
You know what? And she's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we also have our illegitimate, or a legitimate, I'm not sure, illegitimate son.
Illegitimate.
Yeah.
Hello,
yeah,
everybody.
Yeah. Hi,
Hi,
Patrick.
Hi, Patty.
Hello.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
a
kind of
sad day.
it's kind of a somber day here.
No, it's Patty's
I mean,
last day with us.
I hope our listeners will stay with us when Patty goes. But in case you didn't know, Patty's leaving us. He's going on to greener pastures.
We're excited for
greener
him, though.
We are very excited
Yeah,
for
good
you.
for you.
Thank you.
We got your little card. Why don't you open it?
He's growing up.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm
Yeah.
opening this.
Yeah, he's going. Can we say, or should we not say, or probably?
I don't know. It's up to him if he wants to say.
I don't care if you
We
guys
thought
say it.
we thought we'd say a little something
Let's
for you in a card.
All right.
Tell you
I'm
how much-
gonna read this card out.
All right.
Goodbye to someone special. Every ending brings a new beginning. Oh my goodness! Hold on with that. So sad to see
Wait,
you
that's a
go.
good part.
Oh, no, it is, but I'm going sentimentality first here.
Oh, he's
Patrick.
so your kid.
You are, Patrick, you are a man among men. Thank you for all the hard work, your contributions to the show, and your friendship. Good luck going forward. I know you'll be a huge success. Love, Dad. Oh, I swear, I've started to tear up. Oh, goodness.
God, well, yours is nice. Mine's
But-
not.
Oh,
that
and then good
sentimental.
luck. We will miss you. And it cheers a little martini. Martini.
Very me, right?
Yep, without a martini.
Yeah.
Well, we will miss you.
We will,
And
absolutely.
you have been awesome.
Thank
You know,
you.
you've been
Yes,
you've
Thank
been
you.
Of course.
you've been a huge addition to the show.
Thank
Yes,
you.
especially the
I-
tortilla chip eating. That was my favorite
You
contribution.
still remember?
Oh, yeah.
I was really hungry that day.
Yes, I know the feeling.
Oh my goodness.
We will miss
Thank-
you, but good luck.
Thank you so much,
And
and
you
thank
can-
you so much for the other part of that.
Oh, there's another part. Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely, you're
Oh
welcome.
my
Don't spend
goodness.
it
Get
all
yourself-
at once.
Yes,
Get
yes,
yourself
yes.
a few
Some
martinis.
nice things, yeah,
Oh
right?
my goodness.
Expensive
Thank you.
martinis.
Okay,
Love you
well,
both.
you know what?
Hey,
See,
do
I
you-
even put a little unhappy face there.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think we're ready to go with our show in 60 seconds. Here's a 1-minute preview on what's coming up on today's show.
Okay. What is the attraction between drunk drivers and the KHTS parking lot?
16 DUIs last weekend and 10 this weekend. Why do we advertise DUI checkpoints?
Opendoor's most eloquent wordings and why they are hurting our property values.
Opendoor's doubling down on ad spending after taking a $62 million fine from the DOJ.
Fourth round of layoffs hit Kellar Williams ahead of their mega camp.
Oops. Arizona town to homeowners will pay you not to rent to Airbnb.
The real estate company and lender Really is closing their doors after raising $250 million only a year ago. We had to have seen that coming.
10 things that you should never say from an agent to an agent in the real estate business. All of that and less
Indeed.
on today's show. Okay, let's get into it.
You know what? I have to tell you good
Oh.
news and bad news, though,
Oh.
about my week, just like very quickly.
Oh.
Yes. Tell us the shower story, Mommy.
Oh, I'll tell you that. That kind of dovetails in. So super fun this week. So obviously we're having these two gremlins, and we need a bigger car.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I wasn't
yes.
thinking that we would get another car until like January of next year, just because I had a lease with BMW. But I was able to find a company that bought out our lease
Oh.
and bought a car. And had it in the driveway waiting for Greg when he came home on Monday night. I've always wanted to do that, like surprise somebody like that. Like he knew that we were looking at it. He knew I test drove it. He knew I wanted it,
Yeah.
but did not know that it was already like literally our sales rep was inside with Cameron having a glass of wine, like waiting for Greg to sign. And then that was it.
Wow.
So we got a new car. She's
That's
so
so exciting.
I know this morning Greg's like, how's your day? I'm like, it's pretty rough, but the good thing is like if anything ever happens to you and like I decide to leave or like our marriage or anything, I'm like, I'm living in this car.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'll take
okay,
that as
so
a
the
win.
last time he went out of town, you bought a car. He's never going out of town again.
No, he was happy about it.
No, I know. That's awesome.
It's not like that, like,
Yeah.
oh, honey, here's,
Yeah,
know.
guess what
no,
I did while you were
wouldn't.
gone.
No,
Yeah,
he
no, that's
knew
awesome.
that we were purchasing it. It was the timing that he wasn't aware of. So
Well,
that was super fun.
I have no idea whether we're going to be a one-car family starting in January because they want me to give back my Mercedes. The lease is up in October, and then they're going to give me 3 more months that I can pay for it. And then I don't know what to do. So I may actually be taking Judy to work and driving her car. Can you imagine that?
No.
For 6 months?
Actually, no. I really can't. But
it would be hard. I played golf yesterday, and it'd be hard. She'd have to Uber home, right, from work. So
we could go pick her up in the spaceship.
That ain't going to work.
And then also our nanny mentioned to us just casually, I asked her about a date in which she could work. She's like, oh, I'll be in Costa Rica. I'm like, I'm sorry. What? So she's in Costa Rica for 2 weeks. And she's like, I told you. I'm like, that's cute. A, you didn't. B, I was like, did you email me? And Greg was like, even I know if it's important. You email Taylor and you CC Michelle, my assistant, right?
Oh, man.
So I was like in tears on Wednesday trying to figure that out.
Should I be worried because she's going to be watching our daughter?
No. No,
Barkley.
she's wonderful. She's just a little...
When she's in the country.
Spacey. Yeah, anyway, so this morning I have a friend whose daughter is helping with Cameron, thankfully, but she didn't come as early as Lexi usually does. So I'm trying to take a shower while I watch Cameron, which means he needs to be in the bathroom with me, right? Because he's like walking everywhere, putting everything in his mouth. He's crazy. Right. I was in the shower for maybe 4 minutes, and he managed to unhinge the door to one of our bathroom cabinets. He pulled out an entire, can I say that on the air, box of tampons and dumped them.
You're fine.
I guess so.
Dumped them into the shower, and then also pulled the toilet paper roll, and like it looks like someone like TP'd our bathroom in 4 minutes. And I sent photos to Greg. I was like, I'm not even mad. Like I'm impressed.
Yep.
Like the speed with which this kid
Burgundy.
messed up the entire bathroom.
He's a whirling dervish.
Dude, amazing.
Yeah,
I just was looking at him like, now clean it up. But no, he didn't clean it up.
What was that cartoon? That thing that would go around?
Tasmanian Devil.
The Tasmanian Devil. That's what he is. He's a Tasmanian Devil.
The Tasmanian
Oh man,
and I'm the
that's
mom
so
road
good.
runner running after
That's
him,
so
trying to
good.
clean up. Oh my God!
Hey,
literally.
you have to do that impersonation again one more time for James.
Which one? The Shaggy and Scooby?
Yeah, you got to do that one more time for old time's sake.
Okay,
Yeah, all right.
for old time's sake.
Yep.
Zoinks, like Scoob, we're on Phil and Taylor's show. Really, Raver's show? Like, yeah, man. Yeah.
It's good. It's very good.
That's amazing.
Anyway,
That's
so
amazing.
you're
I love
impressive.
doing
My
it.
son's impressive.
We
Yeah,
should have
it's-
given you more money.
It's been a week.
That's
I know,
impressive.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
So let's start with by the numbers.
Okay, that sounds like the
SCV.
place.
By the numbers.
All right. It's interesting because Stevenson Ranch went from 32 listings to like 17. I don't know what happened. Boom, a bunch of them sold. Active listings for Santa Clarita, 620.
Can't believe you didn't let us guess on Patty's last day.
Okay. Why
It's
don't
too
you
late.
guess active, under contract, and pending, both of them together?
In one lump sum.
Yep.
One lump sum.
Yep, active, under contract, and pending. Now, in case you're listening and you don't know what that means, if you're an active listing and somebody actually writes you an offer and you accept it, you go into active, under contract. It means it's still active. You can actually go and maybe put a backup offer in. But then it goes to pending as soon as everybody actually releases all their contingencies. So active, under contract, and pending. What do you think the number is there?
Do you want me to go first? You want me to
Yeah.
go first?
Yeah.
185.
I'm going to say 210.
324.
Oh God,
Oh,
we're
wow.
way up. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
That's
is a lot.
higher than it's
So-
been in months.
So we have less than too much inventory, which is pretty good. Although the stock market's getting crushed today because
Let's not
they.
talk about that, please.
Sorry. Okay. How many? Okay, one more number. How many sold in the last 30 days? How many actually closed in the last 30 days?
Of the 324? Is that the lump sum or?
No, just
Oh, just
how
in
many? How many?
I'm going to say going with lucky number 37.
I'm gonna say 79.
Well, you're both very close. It's 257.
Patty. And this is why I wanted to do it, to make sure that we're just completely, we suck at this. It's crap. It's crap.
It's crap.
Me and Taylor sharing a brain cell.
We just found out we're allowed to say crap on the air.
That's why I said that. One brain cell. But hey, so that's good. So the market's going and churning and there's houses.
Yeah.
and
Who knows? I'm probably putting my house on the market at the end of the month, end of next month.
If you wait 3 years, I might buy your house.
If I have to wait 3 years, I will give you
We
my
have
house.
bigger problems. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
know,
so now
I know.
here's my question to you.
Okay.
What, and I don't know exactly what the answer is to this. This is a rhetorical question. What is
Oh,
the attraction between drunk drivers and the KHTS's parking lot?
I cannot help you with that.
Can I help you with that?
You
either?
saw what happened, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
crashed twice in 3 months. And what I feel like Jerry.
Well, fill in the listeners if they don't know what
I feel
happened.
like Jerry Seinfeld. And what is the big
And
deal
what
is the
with
deal?
drunk drivers at 7:00 in the morning?
Sounds
Kramer
like him,
comes
kind
running
of.
in. I have no idea, Jerry.
Yeah, that's weird. What also scares me, and this is what brought up this other thing for me, is there's drunk drivers out there at 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's a larger concern.
That's
for me.
a concern.
'Cause
That's
when
a
I'm like
major
out and about
concern.
and walking the dogs.
Well,
with
one
the
was
kid and-
like the dark of night at 11 or 12, and then this week was 7 a.m. There was still
Yeah.
sunlight was out.
You know what that
just coming
means?
out.
That means they were probably drinking all night.
Oh yeah.
It's very possible because you know what I mean. Yeah. So anyway, but that begs me to start thinking,
Right.
which I
But careful.
Yeah.
Don't want to think too much.
Easy.
Right.
Don't pull a muscle.
Yeah.
The
no.
DUI checkpoints,
Right.
okay? They were saying that 2 weekends ago, 16 people were arrested for DUI, 10 this last weekend. This is one of the things I go, again, things that make you go, You don't have to do it. Don't worry about it. Things that make you go, They, I believe, advertise DUI checkpoints from the sheriff's station.
So-
And then we, like here at KHTS, we follow that up, and the Signal follows it up with saying, hey, guess what? This weekend, the DUI checkpoints are going to be at a
Is
certain
that how
place.
it works up here?
That's how it works.
So in-
Tell me that's not brain
Yeah,
damage.
in LA they don't advertise them, but the second one pops up, everybody's on Twitter, the
That's
neighbor
what I'm
next door
saying.
app,
It
everything
should
like
be
that.
illegal. First thing is,
Yeah.
it's stupid for them to actually advertise it, and I don't understand it. So I called the sheriff's station and I said, "Hey,
Did
why?"
you?
I did.
My God,
and
due
I said,
diligence,
"Why?"
I dig it.
But I messed up because I had to leave a message because you can't get through, right? I mean, there's Natalie Arriaga that she actually handles the public service stuff, but she says if there's just a question that you've got, just call this number. So I called the number and said, "Hey, if you have a question, just call us. We'll get right back to you." I made a mistake by saying, "Hey, I got a radio show that I want."
Oh,
That was
You're the
stupid.
press, remember?
Oh,
You have to
that's right,
stop
we're the
telling
press.
people
Stop
that.
the
So anyway, I
press.
just asked. I said, "Could you just give me an idea of what the reasoning is that you would actually put a DUI checkpoint in the news?"
I wonder if there's some like weird legal loophole or something. I don't know. I mean, when I
It's-
lived in West LA, they didn't advertise them.
It's
so,
stupid.
yeah.
And so, but you're absolutely right. When that happens, it hits social media, and everybody knows it, which just means that all the drunk people are turning left just before it and just going right around
Exactly.
it, and it keeps them on the road,
Right.
and it doesn't punish them when they should be punished, and all of that stuff. I don't understand it.
Hashtag Uber.
Hashtag, I think it should be illegal to
Right.
advertise it.
No, I agree. No, I'm just saying it. Just the whole thing is
Yep.
no, thank you.
Yep.
Well, I don't
So-
have that problem, right, ladies?
Okay,
Alas.
here's another thing I think about. This is why I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know
This
how-
is why you get up and work on the morning.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but this other thing, Dennis Rodman had kept saying, "I'm going to
gonna go get
I'm gonna
Brittany
go get
Griner."
Brittany Griner." I thought the only way that he should be allowed to go to Russia is if he trades himself for Brittany Griner. It's like, okay, tell you
Oh.
what, Brittany, you're out. You know,
I thought you were going to say if
tag-
he couldn't come back, but it's kind of the same
No, it is the same thing. Yeah, okay, trade yourself
thing. So you're
and
a
you can
huge
go.
Dennis Rodman fan, is what you're saying.
No, I think what his idea, well, you know, him with North Korea, you know, he
Correct,
gets
that
and
whole
snuggles
thing,
up with
yeah.
that guy. But he wants to, you know, it's
Snuggles.
yeah, yeah.
No, he's a gem. He's an interesting human.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
he's
the worm.
You know what he
ladies
is?
and
He's
gentlemen.
deficient.
That's an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, he's deficient.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, enough. You
Yep.
know, enough.
Okay,
all I
next.
gotta say.
One of my favorite companies, which we're going to hit a few times, a left hook, right jab, that type of thing, uppercut. Opendoor. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Opendoor is considered an iBuyer. iBuyers, their job basically is to come in, talk you into selling for a lot less than you could get if you
Right.
were on the open market. And they do it by saying, you don't want to go through the pain of dealing with a realtor. You don't
Oh,
want
and
to
you have
pay
open
those. You're going to have an
houses.
open house,
People are
which
gonna
means you're
steal
going to
your
have to
stuff.
vacuum
Yeah.
once. And also, you know, it's going to cost you a fortune to do that. So instead of actually listing with a realtor and making $700,000 net, you're going to sell to us and make a $600,000 net. How does that sound?
Right.
And unfortunately, they've talked a lot of people into that, which they shouldn't
Which
have.
we've talked about on the show.
And they took
yeah.
a $62 million fine for misleading people. They're hurting our equity.
Okay. And
this,
that makes me mad.
yeah, exactly
Yep.
right. You do not want that. Okay, so
No, I do
here's
not.
here's a house in Stevenson Ranch.
Wait, is this the one with the listing we talked about?
This is the listing that we talked about.
Oh,
Now,
I'm so excited. I love these.
The last week
a
we
whole
talked
show
about
on
it.
these.
Yeah, the last time we actually talked, they had a description in another Stevenson Ranch house, and it said this Stevenson Ranch house has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
No, and a 2-car and a garage or something. That was it.
And a garage. That was it. That was the description.
It's a beautiful
Made
house.
me want to
beautiful
see it.
view.
It had a
Yeah.
garage.
And we were cracking up.
Well, they've gotten a little bit better, but because this
one's
house
good.
was $1,391,000, they actually went and said some things like a fantastic 5-bedroom home in sought-after Stevenson Ranch location.
Okay.
I love the way they ended it. Relax with your favorite drink in the fenced-in backyard. Oh my God! It's got a fence. It's not like an open range where there's cows and stuff next door. We're going to have a fence so your cows won't be able to walk out.
What?
And your horses.
I mean, I was thinking like for dogs, but I think it's just a foregone conclusion that you have a fenced-in backyard.
How about
up
this?
there. What about a pool?
How about this? It doesn't even have a pool. Enjoy preparing meals. I'm going to enjoy preparing meals in this impressive kitchen, equipped with. It doesn't say, this great
Viking or
whatever.
yeah.
It doesn't say any of that stuff. It says equipped with ample cabinets and generous counter space.
Because the cabinets absolutely help
Are
me prep
much
the
better
meals.
than a Viking,
Exactly.
6-burner
I should
stove.
have said
and-
like with a trash compactor or something like that. That would have made me happy.
Now this is
Who
how
writes these things?
I can tell you right now. It's a guy named Ben. I'm not going to say his last name, but he works for. I guess I don't know.
Ben,
He
if you
works
need
for-
help,
he's like $6 an hour or something. I don't know. So anyway, so here's the problem with Opendoor.
okay.
Opendoor
only have
buys
one?
something. Oh no. Trust me, and we'll get to the rest of it later.
Problem.
Here's the problem. Okay, I looked this up. They bought this house for $1.24 million in January. All right.
Okay.
Of course, they didn't do anything to it.
1.24,
Yep.
and they're listing it for 1.3.
391.
Nine.
Okay,
Right,
which makes
that's-
sense because they want to make a good profit.
Yeah,
they
it's a
they
chunk of
listed
change,
it 90
though.
days later, and that's terrific. Okay, I get it, right? They talked the people into taking less. That's fine.
What did they do to it during the 90 days?
Not a damn thing.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, then why did they wait 90 days?
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I was thinking they were putting in those, that trash compactor I was hoping for. By the way, I do not have, nor do I need a trash compactor.
Maybe it comes to that ice machine
It
that
just
you love
makes
so
me
much.
laugh. Oh,
Okay, so they started on 4/16 at 1.391.
okay.
Then they continued to drop it every single month by $100,000 to get it to 1.138. No. Yep.
No.
Yep. And
Wow.
I don't know what it's in escrow for, but they dropped it. What is that? 200,000?
How many square feet is it?
$260,000.
How many square feet is it?
It's 3,643.
Okay, so she's a big lady.
Anyway, that's
I
what
wish y'all could
happens.
see Phil's face
They-
if you're on Facebook. Like, ugh.
They
the
don't
disdain.
care.
No, they absolutely don't care. But that's part of the reason. Like, you know that when you sell to them, you just need to unload your house. You need to dump the house. That's it. That's the only reason that you would sell to them.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're wait a minute. We're to that point where we
We
have
are.
to sell cars.
We
You
are.
have an Audi to sell?
No, but I have an Audi to
No.
drive. Woo! All right, well, stay
All
with
right,
us.
we
We'll
shall be
back.
right back. Okay, hey, welcome back to Real Estate and Other Stuff on KHTS 1220 AM and 98.1 FM and on Facebook Live. Again, I'm your friend Phil Nardella. Taylor Williams is your friend also. Patrick, who's leaving us, is also your friend.
I need to make a quick clarification.
Uh-oh.
My husband texted me and
Oh.
said that I need to remind everyone that it is, in fact, his
His.
Audi
His.
and not mine. Although I'm allowed to drive it, but he just wanted me to clarify that for the record. So there you go, babe.
I saw a really cute cartoon, and it showed a picture.
A husband and wife about to smack her
Smack
husband for you.
No, but it was kind of cute because it said one person, one guy, he was standing there, and right above his belly button said "any," and then right next to it was a guy standing there, and his little belly button was there. No, he had 4 belly buttons, and it said "Audi."
Uh-huh.
It was cute. I laughed.
I get it. Yeah, I just at first I was like, "This
Wow,
is a family
you
show.
gotta,
Like, where are you going?"
You got to know the audience. Man, that was tough. Is this thing on?
Yes, kind of. I just only have one headphone that works. Remember?
Just one headphone. That's funny. That's
Yeah.
all you need, right?
Thank
it's
you.
like you only need one eye, right?
I don't know.
ear.
Thankfully,
Thank
knock wood,
God.
I've got
Yeah,
the use
really.
of both.
Okay, so let's keep up on with this whole thing with Opendoor.
Let's do
it. So according to Del Preet in Inman, who's a guy who keeps up on all of this stuff, his opinion piece, Opendoor doubles down on ad spending, which kind of cracks me up because. Let me read this. Hard on the heels of its partnership announcement with Zillow and its $62 million FTC fine, Opendoor is banking on advertising to restore its brand reputation.
Trash compactor. That's all I'm saying.
If they want to actually work on their reputation, maybe they should hire somebody that knows how to give a description of a house.
Or don't mislead the people to whom they're trying to,
yes.
get as customers.
Yes. Hey, you live across the street from a gas station. They'll never be able to sell it. We're just going to buy it.
I know.
Okay.
Well, Patty and I are going to be there eating Doritos.
Yeah. Okay.
Tortilla chips, too.
Exactly.
I'll sell to you. Okay, Opendoor's advertising spend has skyrocketed this year, higher during the first 6 months of 2022 than ever before. Obviously, that $62 million fine was just a slap on the wrist, and they didn't care because they've actually spent over $130 million now in the first 6 months of this year. That's a lot.
Yeah, I read this. I don't know how much you're going to read before I ask you questions. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure because you know what?
I don't understand it.
In a market to where values are going up, it makes sense. They buy low and then it keeps going up, and they keep it for 6 months or a year, and then they sell it for a lot. But
Right.
values are coming down.
But I just wonder, this FTC fine is a big deal. Like we've talked about, I've had people reach out to me with my legal hat on about, we were in that situation with Opendoor. Do we have any recourse, right? My thought is, why are they not working on that aspect of hey, let's not lie to you about how much you're realistically going to make or not.
Well, I know one. Well,
I get you have to advertise to save face.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, Wells Fargo. I get it, but I feel like that's one piece of the puzzle to make them more successful, right? And this is a lot of money on advertising.
That's so funny.
I have a good one every once in a while.
Yeah, no, that Wells Fargo thing cracks me up because a lot of people don't know Wells Fargo is terrible.
Yeah.
Even a slowing market, Opendoor's foot is firmly on the accelerator, growing the business. This is what I love, and educating consumers at a scale never seen before.
I like
an
example.
Huh?
I like.
Huh?
I know. And
Opendoor's
I'm like,
educating.
Is there a link? Because I thought maybe there would be a link to another article. There's no link there.
Yeah.
No.
They're educating consumers. No, they're trying to dumb down the consumer so that they'll take their deals. In my opinion. Okay.
I think so.
In addition to key partnerships, Opendoor is taking its message to a quick, instant sale directly to consumers in a big way. Opendoor's increased advertising spend is driving an increase in home purchases. It's already purchased nearly twice as many homes in the first 6 months of 2022 compared to the same time last year. The reason why that's gone up quickly is because a lot of people are thinking, well, okay, things are going to get slow here.
That is why.
I'm going to see if
people
I can.
realize, oh wait, no, it's no longer a seller's market.
Exactly right.
So I got to unload my house now before it gets worse.
Yeah, compared to the same time last year, Zillow spent $12 million less on advertising, largely due to its exit from iBuying, while Opendoor's ad spend surged $71 million. That's a lot.
Do you know what I always say? I say this all the time, literally all the time. I said this to Greg Gig when we talk about Opendoor. You get what you pay for.
Yep.
Use an agent. There's a reason. You get what you pay for.
Not to mention, it's so much better, and it really is kind of. I mean, I can't say it's easier.
Is Opendoor going to answer your text messages at 3 a.m. when you have questions for your agent, like I did to Phil? Probably not.
Okay, so Redfin, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. Redfin has an iBuying division.
Right.
So I had somebody in escrow, right? And we were in escrow for a long time, and they finally came back and said, look, we have a problem. They owe taxes to the government. The government's not giving them a thing saying that's okay, so they're actually showing that they still owe it, which means I'm having trouble getting the loan for my clients. But if you can just bear with us, they've agreed to sell their condo to Redfin. You know, she worked for Redfin, right? She was the agent on the deal. She worked for Redfin. And I went, well, wait a minute. I really would like to close this by the end of the month, and this was August 1st. And I said, do they know the type of hit that they're going to take? And she said, and I quote, yes, they understand that they're going to lose over $100,000 on the deal. And I went, and they're okay with it? They really want your house that you're selling. I went, I can't believe that's going to happen. And I said, you need to call me every
so
day.
much money. And you know what's sad? The second you said that, I'm like, 3 kids. I'm like, I probably send them each to a state school for that, plus tuition, plus food. For 100,000 is how my brain now calculates things.
Oh, yeah. It's funny how things change.
That's where you're like, this is insane.
It is insane. And you know what? Guess what? They did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not your decision, but woo,
They
child.
did it. But
Wow.
I asked her, I said, do they know how much they're losing? Because I thought what would happen is they'd go down that road, and all of a sudden they come out and they go, okay, this is how much we're going to give you. And they went, okay, that's not going to work. Let's just find another house. No, they wanted the house that bad.
Wow.
They lost $100,000 on the sale of their condo to get this house.
That makes me sad. Well, I hope it's an amazing house with a trash compactor. If you can tell that I've had like 1 minute of sleep in the last 72 hours.
You want to hear something impressive?
I would love to hear something
My
impressive.
house didn't have a trash compactor when I first moved in.
I've never had one.
I bought one and I installed it
Yourself?
myself.
Wow.
Boom.
Oh, you
Mic
know what?
drop.
I should give you another shout out really quickly before we transition to the next. Yeah, so I'm still learning my house, and Greg is gone, and I got home at, I don't know, like 5:30 or something, and Lexi's like, yeah, half the power in the house is out, and I'm like, since when? She's like, I don't know, like 10 a.m. this morning, and she has a really high voice. She kind of speaks like that. She's intelligent, but I'm like, Lexi, what the heck? And so I called Phil, and I'm like, Phil, and he's like, well, can you try to push this? I'm like, no.
She just
I'm
went.
like, can you just
I
come
go here. You know,
over?
just go over to this. She goes, no.
No.
She goes, can you come over? And I went, yes.
I hear Judy in the background. I'm like, sorry, Judy. I need help.
You know the funny thing is,
You fixed it.
if you bought that other house, I would have never come. No, I would have, but I wouldn't have been
Oh,
happy.
the farther one.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
which
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
so thank you.
You're welcome.
That was very
You're welcome.
helpful.
I'm glad it worked. I mean, I'm glad it was what we thought it was.
Yeah, now I know where the panel is and the breakers are and like the
Yeah.
GFIs and how to now I could fix it on
Yeah.
my own, but I didn't have the strength. So thank
But
you.
I thought that was so funny. You know, just go to the no. No, how about this? Just come over and take
yeah,
care
I'm
of
like,
it.
I'll
I went,
have James come do it. That's fine. No, I'm
yeah.
gonna blow up the whole
And
house.
Taylor scares me, so there's no way I wasn't going to go over. I'm like, oh, I'm on my way.
So sad.
Yeah, okay. Okay, last thing, I'm going to let it go.
Wait, you're not gonna let it go.
Well, I'm going to let it go for this. You know.
Fair for this segment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Breaking down the Zillow Opendoor partnership and ex-Zillow's guys take.
This is why you wake up at 3 a.m.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. It's the matchup of two erstwhile rivals and bitter foes to many in the real estate industry that has tongues wagging and agents shaking their heads.
I'll agree with that.
A few days ago, Zillow, a frequent industry punching bag, and Opendoor, also foe to many in the real estate industry, announced a multi-year partnership, one that should fully expect the reaction was swift and contained a mixture of puzzlement and anger, along with cheers for the hope that one or both companies' impending demise.
And this is written by a former Zillower.
Yep.
Correct? Yep.
So you see that I'm not alone. I'm not the only
No,
one
you're
that has
not
a
alone.
beef
I
with
know
these
that.
guys.
I know
all right.
that.
So anyway, the press release said Zillow Inc. and Opendoor Technologies have announced a multi-year partnership that combines two category leaders to transform how people start their move. The partnership will allow home sellers on the Zillow platform to seamlessly request an Opendoor offer to sell their home. For Zillow, partnering with Opendoor provides its users with the iBuying alternative. In return, Opendoor gets exposure to Zillow's massive traffic flow. It's a win for Zillow, for Opendoor, and for those visitors interested in alternatives. Now, this is what kind of is weird to me.
Okay.
You know, you've got a lot of people that pay Zillow a lot of money to be their premier agent.
Right.
Okay. Now, everybody that's interested in actually doing some kind of an iBuying thing, they're curious, right? You know,
You want to see what are you going to get.
yeah, for
your
every
house.
100 people that actually go and ask for the information, maybe 2 will actually sell to Opendoor. But I'm wondering if they get on, they click on something that says, we want information about iBuying. Do they then go out and say, this is how much it is? Or they say, well, we're not really interested in that. We'd rather sell with a realtor. Does now Opendoor then go, that's not a problem. We've got realtors that can sell also. Or
Probably.
and does the so
That's
that
what I would think.
that kind of means that they're Zillow's premier agents
Kind
are going to
of.
get screwed,
Yeah.
which I find delightful.
They've got to have some sort of feast. I mean, it'd be interesting to see the actual deal between the two.
Yep.
Yeah,
but it makes sense, right? Because
It does.
Zillow gets so many people on their website, it makes sense to have
I
to
still
click
look at
through
stuff on
for
Zillow.
iBuying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole merger makes sense. I just can't stand it.
Redfin I like now because when a lot of times just in a pinch, if I have a consult, I'll look up somebody's house on Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow, and kind of get a general idea
Yeah.
right around what it's worth. And Redfin always says, "Is this your house?" your tentative offer is, let's say it's a $900,000 house, $782,000. Click here, blah, blah, blah. So they've already got it there. They're ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? 4th round of layoffs hits Keller Williams ahead
Your
of Mega
favorite.
Camp. They've got those mega camps. I don't know if they're once every year, once every 5 years. I don't know, but they actually have everybody go, and it's like a big convention. Keller Williams laid off 23 staff members on Thursday, making it the 4th round of layoffs since October 2021. The layoffs came as the
23?
franchisers. What's that?
Only 23?
Well, yeah, but that was their 4th, so I'm not sure exactly how many. Or exactly. Let's see what it says here. Texas-based franchisor Keller Williams has confirmed a 4th round of layoffs over the past year as the company prepares for choppier market dynamics in the face of inflation, rising mortgage rates, and slower home sales. A Keller Williams spokesperson confirmed with Inman that 23 people from a range of departments were laid off, all of whom were offered a severance pay. Would offer severance pay and health care coverage throughout the month of September.
This says down here from October 2021 to August 2022, Keller Williams has laid off at least 184
There you go.
employees.
There are the
you go.
numbers.
Hey, that's nice, though. Healthcare and a severance. I dig that.
Yeah, and you get health care all the way up to the middle of September. That's not a long time, but that's good though.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
and
agree.
legally, depending on what state you're in, you have to.
I think so.
Offer,
You're right. So anyway, we can
Well, that's
actually
dreary.
we can go. Well, no, and so here's my question to you.
Okay.
They say,
I'm ready.
It seems like when we talk a lot about layoffs.
Yes. Well, you talk a lot about layoffs.
Well, it's one of those things to where I think obviously
We weren't a year ago.
What happened was when real estate and mortgages were abundant, they had so many people being hired on.
Absolutely.
They're just cutting the cream back off because they don't need
That's
them
what we
anymore.
talked about. That would be scary for me to be the low woman on the totem pole hired,
Oh,
knowing
yeah.
that
Oh,
once
yeah.
there's a switch, I'm the first
Because
to go.
you're all excited, you're learning, you're doing everything that you
Exactly.
can do, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, thanks, bye. You got insurance until next
Which
month.
also I think is interesting because how many times have we talked about this industry is looking for people? Like I see ads for attorneys hiring all the time, restaurants, we need help, all
yeah.
over the place.
Yeah.
So it's not like real estate is the only option.
Right.
It's not like people can only take a mostly commission-based job. Like there's other places that they could find employment. So
Yep.
that makes me nervous.
Yep. And it's funny because none of these people who are getting laid off are realtors. They'll stick with a realtor as long as they're paying your fees,
Correct.
right? It's
Yeah.
all the ancillary service, not the ancillary services, but tech and all that stuff. Like
Right.
we talked about.
Last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Compass, they were the ones that laid off 1,000 people.
All the tech people.
Okay, so yeah, mostly tech. Okay, so I think we'll be back. Yeah.
Oh, and I think by that he means he'd like to take a break. So stay with us. We're going to see if we can get my left headphone working here.
Nah.
But we've got more fun stuff. We'll be right back.
Good luck on that. Okay, hey, welcome back to real estate and other stuff, and we've had a lot of other stuff today. In
just
fact,
fun.
I'm glad my assistant Chris Kulka's in Europe because she'd be going, get back to it.
Lucky
I'm
her.
your-
I want to go to Europe.
Oh, I know. Yeah, she's.
She's
I'm
having fun.
I'm working without a net here, though. Assistants are
When,
important.
when Michelle's gone, I'm like lost. I know.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
someone
yeah,
help me.
yeah.
Sherry always picks up the slack. She's amazing, but I'm sure Sherry's really glad when Michelle
Now-
gets back.
Tell me if this was in bad taste. Okay.
I'm going to
She's-
be honest.
I know.
Okay.
You are.
Okay.
Okay, so she went. Maybe I shouldn't ask that. Not if you're going to be honest. Okay, so
It
she
just
went.
harkens back to was that rude that I didn't give the homeless person money because I didn't think she was worth $20 story, which I thought was rude. But you gave money, so you're nice.
So
Okay,
she,
what?
She said.
Who's she?
She said
Chris.
Kulka.
Okay.
She said she's off to Anne Frank's house tomorrow, and I said, tell her I said hi, right, as a joke. And so she said we went to Anne Frank's house and it was awesome. And I said, no, come on,
the
don't
way
give me that
you're-
look.
I know, but you're already looking at me like I'm not going to approve of whatever this is.
And I said, did she remember me? Because I said, tell her I said hi. And I said, did she remember me? And is she upset that I read her diary? And
That's
she
funny.
said, yeah, that's what I
All
thought.
right, that's funny.
And she said that was in poor taste, even for you.
Oh.
And she was, I think
it's
she
a
was trying to be funny.
It's a sensitive
And I said,
subject
well,
for-
wait a minute.
yeah,
I said,
which
she
I totally understand.
She wrote the diary of Anne Frank. That just meant I read her book, right?
I think consider the source. Knowing
I
you,
did,
you're
yeah.
not malicious. I would have been
No.
like, that's funny.
No.
Jerk.
Just a jerk.
I thought it was funny. Was she upset that I read her diary? Anyway.
Chris,
All
if
right.
you want him to field his jokes through me before he goes to you, that's fine.
How about this? This is kind of interesting. Arizona town to homeowners will pay you not to rent to Airbnb.
Have you ever rented an Airbnb?
No, I've heard
Never.
it's
You haven't?
tragic.
See, I've had the opposite experience. Mine was totally fine. The 2 times I did it, it was totally fine.
Well, some of these houses, like my house, they would rent it for a reason, and that is probably to have a party,
Yeah.
right? And then they would just tear
No question that would be your
Steve
house.
Tyndall,
for sure.
you know, our favorite pool man
I love Steve.
and friend.
He was at my house yesterday.
Yes, he was at my house this morning. He was telling me about he did a really nice house every morning in Universal City.
Okay.
And the guy decided to move and use it as an Airbnb. And he said he would get there after parties, and he'd have to pull, beer cans out of the pool.
Yeah.
You know, they just trash it. And I thought,
I
there's
hope
no
he gets
way.
paid more for that.
I get nervous when people are at my house. You know, I'm like, oh, is everything all right? So anyway, okay. So the offer
Hopefully
to
you have
pay
good
up to $10,000 to homeowners comes as lower wage workers in Sedona, Arizona, fail to find housing options they can afford near the businesses that they keep that keep the town moving. It's weird, and the more I read it, the more it just seemed like it was kind of silly. It's kind of dumb. They offer him $10,000. It says short-term rental owners in Sedona who provide at least to a local worker or long-term resident and who don't use their property as a short-term rental for 3 years. For 3 years, can receive up to $10,000 for a 3-bedroom house. So if you just don't do it, and rent it to a local, at the end of 3 years, they will give you $10,000.
Okay.
But they were saying if you actually did the math, they were saying
That's what I was thinking.
owners would have to charge no more than $2,200 for a 3-bedroom home. So they actually put a limit on how much they can charge. And they're saying that these people, if they rent on Airbnb, they can actually make that $10,000 in like 4 months.
When you said that was the first thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
so.
make way more than that, especially over a 3-year period.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
says, what does it say here? It says the average daily rate in Sedona is $301, according to short-term rental data tracker AirDNA. The occupancy rate to the number of nights per month investors can expect to rent out of their listings is 77%, which is $7,300 per month if they maximize their rentals.
I'm too type A and weird about my stuff. I don't want people in my house.
Oh, yeah.
I don't,
Yep.
I'm
no,
weird.
That's just not going to
Yeah.
work. Okay, so here's an interesting one. This is another opinion poll on Inman, and this is for agents to agents.
Right.
Okay, this is written for
I
them.
thought this was fun.
What should you never say to another agent? Which is kind of funny.
I wish we could do this between lawyers. That would be fun. But I think this is fun.
Yeah, it says finding the right words to say to clients is one battle, but keeping the wrong words out of the conversation with a fellow agent is career-long practice. Some might even call it an art. From ethical no-nos to negotiation snafus, choosing the right words can make or break your reputation. We surveyed agents in a local Agent Ed's real estate community on Facebook, and they had a lot to say about what shouldn't be said. Some serious, some hilarious, but all fair perspective on editing your texts, emails, and conversations to say more professional and less obnoxious.
Do you ever do that? Like sometimes I'll write a super long email to opposing counsel, and then I'm like, I'll set a timer for an hour, and I'll minimize it, and I'll do other stuff, and then I'll go back to it, and then I'll change it. Because usually when I do that, I'm being a word I can't say on the air, being a jerk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
then
yeah,
I go
yeah,
back
yeah,
and
yeah.
edit. But I do that a lot, like
Yeah. Yep.
edit myself. Yeah.
I
You
had
do
something.
that?
I had something interesting this last week. I got a call from compliance. I got an email from compliance saying, "Hey, we want to talk to you about using this auto dialer that you used." And I'm like, "Auto dialer? Oh, okay. That was a year and a half ago." And so they said, "We want you to answer these questions." And I'm like, "Where'd that come
Compliance,
from?"
like what the?
Well, see, you're not allowed to actually have, if you've got a CRM, a contact relationship management system, you're not allowed to actually have an auto dialer dial them unless certain things are met,
Okay.
right? They can't be on the DNC list, right?
Right.
They've got to be able to say that they've already given you permission and all of that stuff.
Which we talked about, like, last
and
week, I
here's the
think.
situation. I didn't actually send it from the DNC, from the list, from my CRM list. I actually did it to just everybody. And they went, "Did you get permission to the people to call you?" And I said, "Nope, I didn't think I had to for one reason. It wasn't a sales call. I never made a sales call. What we were doing was a poll for the
remember.
show.
Yeah.
Remember? We did 6 months. We actually reported on it every 2 months. And it just said basically, "Hi, this is Phil
you're
Nardello
planning
with
on-
eXp Realty. This is not a sales call. I'm just asking you 2 questions. You have 1 minute?" And they say, "Yeah." And I said, according to Inman, 60% of everybody, or 40% or 50%, or because of the pandemic, are moving. I said, "So I've got 2 questions for you. One, are you thinking of moving in the near future? And 2, is it because of the pandemic?" And I would just take those down. And so I told her, I said, never once did I make a sales call with that. She called me back. She goes, "Thank you. That's all I needed to know." And I went, did somebody complain? And they said yes. And I said, a year and a half later? Somebody complained?
Who has time for that?
I think I know who it was. Remember we kind of bagged on a certain company last week? I think that's where that came from.
Oh, man.
Because we're members of the media.
That's good. We are.
Okay, so here are the top things. All right, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Number one, this is just between you and me.
I've said that to opposing counsel before.
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I've actually said that when I've had permission to tell the people.
Yeah.
I'll actually say, hey, look, I just want to let you know this is what's going on.
Exactly.
You know, my seller said this, and so, it's one of those things that do,
Exactly.
Okay, number two, buyers are liars, but not mine. Well, you know what? That's silly. I've never said that, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But we do have a saying in real estate: buyers are liars and sellers are yellers. Okay, that's the way that works. Okay, that your buyer is interested in the house when they're not really writing an offer. Who cares? That's silly.
Can't you be interested but not actually pull the
you know,
trigger?
you can actually say, hey, you know what? They're very interested, but we're still not done.
I want to settle this case, but
This is silly. How high or low is your client willing to go? How high is your client willing to go? $7 million, but it's only $750,000.
No,
that's a
here's
silly
the situation. We have 9 other offers. What's your best and final?
Yep.
Yeah.
Accuse the agent of not presenting the offer. That happens all the time. In fact, I've got an interesting story, and I know I got to be quick. That 2 agents came to me from when I worked at the other company, and they came into me and they said, hey, we think that our offer wasn't presented. Because it was $40,000 over what they ended up selling for, and it sold from the agent that had it listed. So she's the type that actually would have gone, no, I'm not going to show that. I'm not going to show that. You should take my offer, and they take the offer.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's bad.
Okay, how about this? That your buyer loves the property. There goes the negotiation power.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that's silly. That you have another offer when you don't.
That's bad.
That's messed up. I had a client ask me that. Well, can't you just say that you've got another offer? And I said, not if I want to keep my license.
Exactly.
Cut your commission so we can make this deal. Yeah, that's silly.
I love this one. A lie.
A lie. You're not supposed to lie.
Try not to lie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's probably a good idea.
Fair enough.
Oh, or I've been in business XYZ.
I get that all the time, especially from older male attorneys, like when we're talking. Because a lot of times when a case starts, I'll call and introduce myself and, hey, this is what I think's going on, blah, 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 blah. I heard the discovery issues. I think we can settle. Well, I've been doing this for 30-something years. I'm like, I don't give a beep.
I will tell you, though.
I mean, good for you. God
that this
bless.
week I actually said that to a realtor because she wouldn't. This is interesting. She wouldn't actually replace a $10 GFI because she goes, no, we came down $5,000 in the price. I said, that has nothing to do with health and safety.
No, and you should
I go,
do that.
this is an interesting thing. I've been doing this 30 years and never has somebody actually decided not to do that.
I'll buy her a GFI.
Then she called me.
You got to hurry up.
She called me 30 seconds later and she said, by the way, can you put your thing in? Oh, all right.
So if somebody's going to actually call, if someone's actually going to call you, at what phone number should they call you?
Oh, 661
you have less than 1 minute, kid.
3561. How about you?
Woohoo! 661-259-9000.
Yes.
But I will give you $10 for that GFI. If she needs it. I know. Patty, thank you so much.
Patty,
will
we
miss
love you,
you.
Of course,
buddy.
I love
We
you guys
love you.
too.
Good show.
You know
Come
what?
visit
It's
anytime.
not going to be the same.
It will not be
you know?
the same. And everybody
And,
listening, have a wonderful weekend.
And
Thank
good luck
you.
going forward, buddy.
Thank you.